The One Piece community has always been split on whether to call Monkey D. Dragon a good or bad father to his son, Monkey D. Luffy. On one hand, he's the most wanted man alive, so disassociating from his son was the only way to keep him from being wanted too. On the other hand, he's done almost nothing for his boy since then to support him. Even those who understand the circumstances can't resist the fun of adding him to the list of deadbeat fathers in One Piece and anime as a medium. Fans on the either side of argument agree that the revolutionary could have done more to his fatherly duties to show that he cared. However, chapter 1101 Dear Bonnie has added another point for Dragon being a good father. It implies he was watching over Luffy, albeit from a safe distance. This is the most definitive proof that the revolutionary has his son's best interest in mind since he saved the boy in Lockdown. This subtle act of fatherly love is so great that it's led many fans to harp on Yasop, who still needs to overcome his deadbeat dad allegations. Both these fathers will likely prove their worth as fathers by the end of the series. Until then, it's necessary to discuss what Dragon has done to show he loves his son. Does Dragon abandoning Luffy make him a bad father? In fairness, plenty of fans understood why Dragon had to be an absentee father. He is the most wanted man in the world because he leads the Revolutionary Army, a military force determined to end oppressive rule worldwide, especially the world governments. Making himself such a public enemy endangers the life of everyone related to him, including his children. For comparison, the world government purged an entire generation of children to prevent the possibility of Pirate King Gold D. Roger's seed from being born. Even if Ace was born anyway, this mass killing of infants shows how far the world government is willing to go over someone who's merely related to such a dangerous individual. Looking at matters like this, one could argue Dragon saved countless children by cutting ties with his family. Of course, Dragon knowing he needs to stay away from his family raises the question of why he started one in the first place. He must have realized having a family would mean putting himself and that family at risk. The circumstances surrounding Luffy's birth could reveal a lot about his father. He may have done it because he couldn't help his feelings for the mother, or perhaps he knew the child would be safe under his father Garp's watch. Whatever his reason, choosing to start a family was an irresponsible risk for someone in his position. Something should also be said about how little Dragon did for Luffy. During his pirate voyage, he knew the boy would constantly be at risk and even put himself in direct conflicts with the world government. Despite this, he never intervened at an Ace Lobby, Spoudi, Impel Down or Marineford, though one could argue the spontaneity of former two prevented mobilization. Even when the secret got out that Luffy was Dragon's son, the Revolutionary Army never tried to reach out to him. He's still waiting in his secret base for the right moments to strike. What has Dragon done to prove he loves Luffy? Dragon's apparent negligence of Luffy's growth makes any involvement of his precious. These rare moments remind the fans Dragon considers himself Luffy's father and has his son's best interests in mind. While plenty of fans like joking about Dragon being a useless deadbeat, credit will be given when he steps up like this. Dragon's first known instance of helping Luffy came early in the boy's voyage. When Smoker had Luffy pinned to the ground in Lockdown, Dragon stopped him from delivering a finishing blow and used his unknown powers to aid in his son's escape. Some also theorize that Dragon has storm controlling powers and summoned the lightning bolt that saved Luffy on the execution platform. Neither Luffy nor the audience knew of the former's relationship with this mystery man at the time, but this still counts as Dragon looking out for Luffy as a father. So far, however, this is the only time Dragon has directly intervened in Luffy's adventures to rescue him. It's sort of an everybody gets one moment for the revolutionary. After this, the only signs of Dragon's affection are brief moments of him tracking Luffy's progress and mentioning to himself how proud he is. He is convinced his son will be impetus for a change in the world, and he will likely be there to help when that time comes. In fairness, Dragon's absence was likely part of his value of freedom. He would have wanted his son to choose his path in life without influencing it. This would explain why he didn't have Luffy try to enlist in the Revolutionary Army, where he could keep a close eye on him. He knew the best way for his son to develop as a man would be to make his own decisions. The understanding of Dragon's hands-off approach to fatherhood is what makes chapter 1101 so notable to fans. This chapter implies that Dragon frequently visited Dawn Island to watch over Luffy from afar. Emporio Ivankov once asked why the Revolutionary Army Supreme Commander commander looked toward the East Blue, but he stayed quiet. In chapter 1101, however, Dragon wasn't as tight-lipped when Bartholomew Kuma mentioned seeing a boy on Dawn Island and how much his boss knew about the place. He was ready to die to protect his family's secret. Many fans have acknowledged this subtle act of fatherly love as a sign Dragon cares about his family and is not the deadbeat everyone loves to make him out as. Dragon is more present than other absentee fathers. Many One Piece fans have brought up Yasop's inadequacy as a father in light of the news about Dragon. These two wouldn't ordinarily have a reason to be juxtaposed. However, they both fathered children who would become Straw Hat pirates and left them to their fates in East Blue when they were still too young to remember. This was done so they could pursue their personal goals and keep their families from getting involved in their affairs. The only difference is that Dragon has proven that he cares enough about his son to keep an eye on him from afar. As far as the audience knows, Yasop never visited Usopp after joining the Red Hair Pirates. The one canon time he's had the chance to see Usopp in Wano, he wasn't ready for the reunion. The only thing that could make up for this is if his observation Haki were potent enough to discern Usopp's condition from many islands away. This is likely a stretch even at Yasop's world-class skill level. In fairness, there have been times when Yasop was happy to show his love for Usopp. He takes great pride in his son. As Luffy will attest, this aspect of Yasop's fatherhood is something he can lord over Dragon, who must choose death over admitting he even has a son. Yasop and Usopp also had an impromptu meeting of the minds in One Piece film Red, but the canonicity of this movie is doubtful. Another non-canon scene from the anime's Lockdown arc had Yasop wondering if he was wrong to abandon his family only for the rest of the crew to laugh it off and continue partying. In any case, neither Luffy nor Usopp hold their parents' negligence against them. Luffy cares more about his found family, Ace, Sabo, the Straw Hats, than his biological family. Usopp is proud of his father's piracy and aspires to be like him. These two are content with their father-son relationships as they are. In any case, Dragon and Yasop will likely prove their fatherly love when the time is right. Sooner or later, Luffy's adventures should bring him back to his father's side, and the same thing will happen to Usopp and Yasop. In Luffy's case, Dragon will likely come to his aid when his quest for the One Piece puts him at odds with the Marines and the world government. Fans predict Usopp and Yasop will face off when the Straw Hats confront Red Hair Pirates, presumably in friendly competition. Whether the reunion is heartwarming or terse, it should be on relatively good terms. It's all a matter of time. And that's about it for today's video. If you liked the video, drop a like and subscribe to the channel. Until next time, goodbye.